Okay, we're going to start. Welcome. Today is November 5th, National Election Day, 2024. It is 5:30 p.m. and we are in the Bosch-Freilich meeting room at Mandan City Hall. Mr. Neubauer, could you please take the roll?
Commissioners Schoberg.
Here.
Heinchan.
Here.
Braun.
Here.
Mayor Freilich.
Here. Commissioner Schoberg will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you.
Just a couple announcements. I did mention that it is election day, so if you are watching at home and you have not voted, please turn off your TV and go vote. This is on reruns for the next 2 weeks, so you won't miss anything. Also, a reminder, prior to snowfall, please remove campers, trailers, and boats from the streets and sidewalks to accommodate for snow removal. This is stated in section 24-7-17 and 24-7-18 of the Mandan Code of Ordinances. No boat, motorhome, bus, camper, or trailer may be parked on a public street between September 16th and May 14th. Violations are punishable by a $50 fine and towing at the owner's expense. And let's hope we don't get any snowfall. Okay, Commissioners, you have the agenda before you. Are there any changes? If not, I'm looking for a motion to approve.
I move to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Braun and a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun.
Here.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Agenda item E, consider approval of the minutes from the October 15th, 2024 Board of City Commission regular meeting.
I move to approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Braun, a second by Commissioner Heinchan. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioners Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Agenda item F, public hearing. Item number 1, consider a request for a minor plat to be named Kendall's Addition and Annexation Ordinance 1457 for lots 4A and 4B, Block 1, Keitel Estates, First Edition. Andrew.
Good evening, Mayor Freilich and Commissioners. This request is from Kendall Zander. The request is to combine a lot in southeast Mandan for future home construction. I have my location map on the screen, which references the property on Prairie View Drive and 8th Avenue Southwest. The public hearing this evening is for an annexation. Earlier this year, this board did approve a request to serve the property with water, and as the projects continued to develop towards construction, the lots are being combined. The purpose behind the lot combination is for the lot to achieve a size sufficient for on-site septic utility. So the two properties that are 0.64 acres are being combined into a 1.28 acre lot rather. That is the item that the public hearing is for. I have a staff report that references findings of fact related to the annexation and the minor plat. This item has been notified to Morton County and the public via the Mandan News, and our recommendation is approval. Do you have any questions for me?
Commissioners?
I'll move to approve the minor plat for Kendall's Addition. Second.
We're going to open the public hearing first, if that's okay. So at this time, hearing no questions from the commission, we'll open the public hearing. So anybody that wants to comment on this, there is a pad up there, and just write your name and your address. Second call for comments. Third call for comments. Hearing none, the public hearing is closed. We'll move to agenda item K5. And at this time, I will entertain a motion from the commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the minor plat for Kendall's addition.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Braun. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item 2 under public hearing. Public hearing for Street Improvement District 239 Memorial Highway. Jarek?
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. We have for you tonight some information related to Street Improvement District 239 Memorial Highway Project. I thought it was a good opportunity to go over a high level view of the project for everybody's benefit prior to the public hearing. Maybe head off some questions or comments. The project overview, it's going to be an urbanization of the Memorial Highway. Get rid of the ditches in favor of curb and gutter. The corridor will be lowered by up to 2 feet in some places to improve drainage. It'll be a 5-lane road, two travel lanes in each direction, and then a center turn lane. Medians and at intersections, and a 10-foot wide shared use path on the south side, at the southwest side of the corridor. Currently, it is split into 2 phases. That's the east phase and the west phase. Phase 1, the east phase, would be constructed in 2025, and then there'd be kind of support construction happening in 2026. Phase 2 would be constructed. The main line would be constructed in 2026 with some of that support work occurring in 2027. This is a North Dakota Department of Transportation project. It's eligible for federal funds. And right now this project has $73.7 million of federal funds allocated to it. It also has $14.8 million of state funds. And then our local share for the road and storm sewer portion of the project is capped at $5.6 million, though we do have some soft costs that we have included kind of in that piece of pie. Those soft costs include engineering, support projects like the MDU, overhead burying project, land acquisition, some of those kind of miscellaneous costs. Of the city's portion for road and storm sewer share, we have a proposed $500 per parcel, a citywide assessment, and that we've been using 8,000 parcels as an estimate for that, and that represents about a $4 million citywide assessment. And then the remaining road and storm sewer improvements, we have a 2-tiered near corridor assessment kind of group that we are proposing. For the utility side, we have about $6.5 million of Department of Water Resources funding anticipated. That would represent 60% of the water improvements. We have $3 million of ARPA, or we will obligate $3 million of ARPA to this project, and then MDU is also putting in $3.1 million, along with for the burying the overhead power along the corridor, and then that leaves an $8 million remainder, which we are proposing to include in the tiered assessments.
Jarek,
Yes.
what's ARPA?
ARPA, American Rescue Plan Act. Sorry, here, I think I need to start over because I don't know how to go backwards. ARPA is the American Rescue Plan Act. I think it's funds that were distributed during COVID as a relief for municipalities. The citywide assessment, I did mention this, $500 per parcel. We're estimating that at $4 million, or $4 million. When the assessing department does parcel counts, that's above 9,000 parcels. So we're kind of estimating on the conservative side there. Tier 1 parcels, kind of shown in the map here. These Tier 1 parcels would be parcels that have frontage along the Memorial Highway corridor. We also split Tier 1 parcels into sub-tiers, A, B, and C, and those are small, medium, and large category parcels. Tier 2 parcels, I believe that would be parcels that are a quarter mile off of the center line of Memorial Highway. These don't have frontage to Memorial Highway, and they are split based purely on size. Once again, small, medium, and large Tier 2 parcels. Of the utility funding, $4.3 million of that proposed tiered assessment is water related, and 3.65 is related to sanitary sewer improvements. For water, along the tiered parcels, we split it into 4 benefit categories, and those benefit categories being service and main improvements, just main improvements, distribution enhancements, and separate service area or no service parcels. I did prepare a map here that shows kind of how that's distributed, just as a visualization for everybody. On the sanitary sewer side, very similar categories: service and main improvements, just main improvements, downstream improvements, and then separate service area or no service. I also created a map to kind of visualize that. Notably, on the sanitary sewer side, not all of the tiered parcels are served by the mains under Memorial Highway that are being improved. So there are areas that don't have a benefit to the work that's being done on the project. So we have that represented. We have that represented in our spreadsheet. Frequently asked questions. We've gotten a lot of calls over the last 2 weeks or so, and we just wanted to kind of go over these water and sewer assessments, not based on lot size, based on benefit category. Water and sewer assessments not fully based on current lot use, meaning a parcel that might not need fire sprinklers today, might need fire sprinklers tomorrow. So we're trying to anticipate those types of improvements. The sidewalk and shared use path are crucial parts of this project, especially with the federal funding. Makes it much more attractive to the federal government when we're including accessibility improvements. And just to let everybody know, if you want a detailed breakdown of your special assessment benefit category, you could contact the engineering department after this meeting. And we also have set up a project page, cityofmandan.com/MHP, Memorial Highway Project, where people can find more information and where we will continue to post updates related to the project. With that, I will just move over really quick to the protest results. If you bear with me. We had at the October 1st meeting approved resolutions necessary to create the District 239, and that resolution of necessity was posted in the Mandan News on October 4th and October 11th. The protest period was 30 days long, and we were accepting protests up to 4:30 p.m. yesterday. We also accepted protests that came in yesterday after 4:30, so we have those represented as well. The citywide protest rate was 0.5%, which is kind of the number that we look at for that 50% threshold. Also, we wanted to give you information. The protest rate, if it were only tiered parcels, was 4.3% by area. So once again, not anywhere close to a 50% protest rate. If you have any questions or any follow-up questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them. We also have representation from HDR, the engineer on the project. They'd be able to answer questions too.
Did you mention the length of time the project is scheduled?
We are expecting 3 years of construction, each project taking 2 years and overlapping in the middle. We would only expect 2 years of mainline construction, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but mainline construction, potentially 2 years, and then an additional year for kind of the auxiliary improvements.
During construction, Jarek, during construction, there will be absolute minimum of 2 lanes open, preferably 3.
Mayor, Commissioner, that is correct. There will be 1 lane in each direction and a center turn lane maintained at all times during the course of the project.
How do you account for the access to the businesses?
I believe that, well, they're constructing essentially sacrificial roadways that will have that 3-lane section on it, and with the sole purpose of minimizing disturbance to the adjacent businesses. Yeah, I believe it's written pretty specifically into the project plans that they will not be disturbing businesses along the corridor.
Does that include all of the motorcycle shops along the street?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to hold our comments from the audience till the public hearing, please.
So the contractor will have a communications representative on site.
Mayor, Commissioner, yes, they are required to include communications, a communications liaison in their project bid. So they're required to have that on site.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commission?
Jarek, what dollars do we take a chance at losing if we didn't push this project forward? I know we talked about it it's been 20 years that's been talked about. Is there dollars that would go away potentially if we didn't move forward in 2024?
Mayor, Commissioner, yes, I would say the $73 million of federal funds would be seriously at risk. And also the project sequencing would be at risk. Right now we have split into 2 phases. If we weren't successful in constructing it very, very soon, we could see that the bulk of the federal dollars not being available at one time, and we'd have to split it into 5 phases, 6 phases, 7 phases, and it'd be compounding disruption to the corridor, and it would get more and more expensive over time as well.
So you figure 10 to 15 years if we do it the other way? Piecemeal it out?
Right. Yes.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to the public hearing. And at this time, the public hearing is open. And if you approach the podium, please, there's a pad there. Please put your name and your business on that. So, public hearing is open. Any comments?
Hi there, my name is Scott Berger. I'm a resident of Mandan, and I own a few multi-tenant rental buildings, shop buildings that are involved in this area. Very in favor of it getting completed in a timely fashion. Sort of have some issues as far as cost allocation to all of the property owners. Not sure if there's a better way of doing that, but major issue for me, a lot of these people are business owners. I don't own any of the businesses that are in my buildings, but I have my tenants that I need to be able to work with. So you have these huge costs, which we know we're going to have some costs. There's got to be costs. But when you try to go back to your tenants and tell them, okay, this year I'm going to raise your rent 15%, 20%, you're going to lose tenants. So then as a property owner, you end up absorbing a great portion of this. I can accept some of that, but then, and I know this goes in a little different direction, but it also has to do with these costs involved. Then when you take into account, over the last 10 years, I've looked at my property taxes on 2 of these particular properties. One of them is only 4 or 5 years old, and I've been running around a 9% increase on my property tax. I can't raise rents 9% a year. That doesn't happen. I can raise rents 2, 3, 4, 5%. So you take that, and here again, I know we're talking, but we combine these things because that gives you a return on investment. And it, like I said, it also affects all these businesses trying to operate out there. But you take these into account, and you're running negative as the years go by. So I have a great concern about the cost allocation. Is there any way of spreading it out a little amongst whether it's city homeowners? I know they don't want to hear that, or not. And another big thing is this thoroughfare, there's a lot of people that travel on this that don't hit any of these businesses. They're going from Bismarck to south of Mandan, wherever they're going. So that's another issue. I won't be long, but just a couple actually questions. Have the bids been let as far as to know how accurate what we're looking at on here? Or have they not been let yet, and these are numbers that were sort of, so where is that at? And then I have one more question.
I can answer that. Yep. Currently, we're anticipating bids to be opened on December 20th. So these letters would be based on estimates at this time. So we can guarantee that the final number would be different than what's on the on the letter. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. And the other question would be, and whoever may be, I can remember, because I've been looking at this, somebody mentioned 20 years. I've been going to meetings for the last 20 years on this, and unfortunately it keeps getting kicked down the road, and for various reasons, and the costs keep going up. But what other costs, because I know we were told last year that MDU is paying for, the 3.1 million or whatever it is. Some of the property owners will have costs incurred to based on individual properties. Do we know any of those costs, or if there are any other costs that we don't know about that as individual property owners we might get hit upon? So.
I think maybe what we had noted before was that the power line burying or the conversion to underground would only be happening within the right-of-way or within easements, and individual properties would have to follow up with on the private side to, if they wish to move underground as well, they'd have to, at their own cost, do that on their own. Otherwise, I think we have most other costs represented in what we have here today.
So if those,
Yep.
so if those, if I understand it right, if those were in, because I have one particular building, they did come in, they did down the ground, great. So if those were in existing easement areas, say between two properties, then I won't get assessed for that. That would be in part of this, or may I get assessed for that yet, or a bill from somebody?
So that the city's basically just participating in that MDU in the mainline MDU underground project, or kind of supplementary project. I wouldn't anticipate, the MDU has no assessing authority, and I don't know if they would bill adjacent homeowners for that.
Mayor Freilich and Jarek and Scott, I believe that if you wanted to bring that line into your property underground, that would be at your cost.
See, and nobody from MDU or anybody approached me about it, so I don't know if they automatically do it and then charges for it. That's sort of a gray area, which may affect other property owners here too.
Mayor and Scott, I don't want to speak for MDU, but I think they would bring a pole into your lot that if you wanted, I mean, that'd be arrangement between you and MDU to make and how you want to connect that, if you want to connect that to your property underground, or if you wanted the existing way it's connected, and just it's part of it's underground and part of it's above.
So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to, because I never talked to anybody from MDU, so.
I would presume that if you want that line, because I think it goes from 220 to 208, or there's some different power hookup, that would be at your expense, not as part of this
Here
project.
again, I didn't ask for it, so
Right.
and I don't know. I'm trying to cover gray areas that, am I going to get a $5,000 bill, $10,000 bill, something?
Mayor and Scott, I think that is, I don't believe it's MDU's intention to just automatically change the feed into your property. That's going to be up to you to make that arrangement with MDU.
Okay, well, all right. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Anyone else?
My name is Dwayne Wall. I own DNS Auto and Trailer on the Strip, and I guess if the sign on the outside said complaint department, that's why I came in here. I got a letter, like everybody else did, saying that my share of all this stuff is over $100,000. I don't have an extra $100,000 laying around to just put a walking trail in, beautification for grass or whatever else you're going to do there. I don't have that kind of money laying around just to do that. I don't, as a businessman, I've been there over 30 years. I don't spend money like that unless I have a means of retrieving it. It's an investment. The Strip, this is probably way too late to get to this aspect of what I'm talking about, but this whole thing, I'm paying over $100,000 for something that's going to give me absolutely nothing in return. My access, I'm on 40th Avenue by the stoplight there and Memorial Highway. Honda's across the street. I have a lot of traffic going by me on 40th Avenue. This project is going to eliminate that traffic. It's going to end that street, and it's going to veer everybody over to Kiss and come out on their driveway. So I lost that frontage. Cost me $100,000 to do that, the way I look at it. So that's going to hurt me. Getting to the Strip from my place. They're going to put a median in the middle there so nobody can leave my place and turn west. I understand that. But now I have another access problem. None of that's helping me make money to pay for this $100,000. None of it. It's hurting me. And to be honest with you, after this COVID stuff here, our business has been down drastically. And this kind of thing, and I'm not the only small business in this area that's probably going to be affected negatively by this and does not have the money in some stash someplace to just throw out $100,000 to randomly support a project like this. I'm unhappy with this. And the thing is, it's another thing where government just does what it wants to, and it annoys me. It really annoys me because I can't afford this kind of stuff. And if I have a situation to where, who's going to pay for it? I'm old enough to retire a while ago, well, a few years already. But the thing is, I've been there over about 35 years. It's been a family store. It still is. My oldest son works with me from day one. And I have nothing to give him. I'm going to give him property that's worth a lot less. Say that I decide to sell it, it's worth at least $100,000 less because I got specials on it that weren't there. The access is not what it used to be. The visibility to all the traffic is not what it used to be by how you're doing that intersection where I'm at. I'm taking a major hit on the value of the place, what I can make off of the place, what I can give to my son for him to survive going down the road. This whole thing is just devastating for me. It just is. And I don't think I can do anything about it. I probably can't, other than complain about it. But, you know, the little guy is definitely losing in this situation. And I'm sure I'm not the only small businessman that is losing on this strip because of this project. And I wish that the people that planned it all out, and I was at the meetings, first started talking about it, but I have the understanding that once there's a meeting like this, it's too late. The powers that be have already decided to do it. And that's kind of what happened. But I don't even know necessarily where this conversation is going, other than I want people to hear what's happening to the small person, small businessman like me. And it's not good. And it's you're going to lose a lot of them. And it's not that you're talking about this Progress Association for Bismarck Mandan. They're trying to do the things to promote new business, or whatever. This project's going to kill a lot of new business. It's just not. It's just not going to work. It's not. I'm not happy. Yes. So, I'm sorry. Thanks for listening to my gripe here.
Thank you for your comments. Jarek, do you have the map of that section?
I can certainly try.
And could you walk us through the renovations there somewhat?
Yeah, I might defer to some of the HDR folks to talk about specific improvements at that location, if that's okay.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Craig Mazzara with HDR Engineering. We're the consultant that have been working with the DOT and the city on these improvements. The comments regarding 40th Avenue intersection, they're by Kiss Livestock. We will be realigning that intersection. Essentially, right now it's at a skewed angle, if you will, which is not safe, for sight distance, some of the operations. We also want to look at a lot of the access in that area, trying to, again, alleviate some of the access points with the intersection and the turning movements that are occurring there at 40th. So those are some of the improvements that we're looking at there at the intersection. And to do that, we'll be realigning 40th almost to a 90. We don't quite get to 90 degrees, but we almost get close to 90 degrees. I don't have that figure here with me. We can certainly follow up with some of that information. But essentially, it shifts the alignment of 40th a little bit over to the west of where it currently is, to more align and be at a right angle with Memorial Highway. Again, kind of hard to explain without the figure here, but provides a little bit more real estate to the comment we heard between 40th and the existing property. So essentially, there'll be a little bit of extra right of way there, if you will, between the roadway 40th and the existing property line.
There'll be the turning lanes will all still be there, right? You could turn west and...
Correct. So west off of 40th, yes.
Do you know if DNS will maintain that approach directly from Memorial Highway
Yes.
into their property so they can drive right out of their trailer show a lot onto Memorial Highway as it is now?
Yeah, Mayor and Commissioners, Commissioner Schoberg, that's correct. Access will be maintained off of 40th as well as Memorial Highway.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
got customers, my clientele, sometimes they've got 32-foot stock trailers. They don't have any place to park because they're not going to be able to maneuver to run a coat without getting back out of there. So my clientele is not going to be able to have parking like they used to. They're not going to have access to my property. As far as getting where 40th Avenue used to come out, it's a pretty good jog over to Kiss from there, which is not the end of the world to drive over there, but it takes them away from me. And they have no place to park unless you've got all this.
Thank you. Is there a cul-de-sac being planned?
Mayor and Commissioners, Mayor Freilich, I'm not aware of, I guess, the specific cul-de-sac location. 40th will continue to go through and be a signalized intersection there at Memorial Highway.
Yes, sir.
Everything that I saw, unless they changed something, why don't you just stop 40th Avenue at my place? Because everything that I looked at, that there was going to be a changeover before you got to my place in the Kiss parking lot to the new entry to the Memorial Highway. What in your eyes, what are you going to do with 40th Avenue? You're not going to continue. You can't continue. You're going to cut it off so you can't get on the Memorial Highway. So you got to, how are people going to get, first of all, how are they going to get to my place? Because if you cut it off, that's how people would drive, get to my place, get past the turn when you jag over to go over to Kiss Road. You'd have to have a means to get to my place. So, are you going to just get rid of me completely? You need to have a map up here to show what the proposal looks like. We're just kind of throwing ideas out now.
Right.
We'll say, okay, there it is.
Okay. Jarek, you got a map?
We don't have
You got a
a
Google
map
Earth?
of.
You got
Yeah, I
some-
was going to say I have Google. I have handy old Google Earth here.
Mr. Wall, if you could step up and speak into the microphone, then we can get you on record because you're not getting picked up right now. So it would be great for future reference to have what you have to say on the camera.
So, Mayor Freilich, if you can see my mouse here, the alignment will go over and then swing back so that it can intersect Memorial Highway at a near 90-degree angle rather than this skewed angle that it's currently at. But it will still connect and you'll be able to do these movements as they exist today. It's just that vehicles will be going on a curved road instead of a straight road.
Okay, now that I get this explanation, I can see things have changed since the first plan that I was given. The first plan was to eliminate 40th Avenue completely, accessing onto the Memorial Highway and make you get over to the Kist entry. Now it looks like you're going to retain 40th Avenue. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Meeting Memorial Highway? It's just going to veer over.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's a better plan. That's a better plan than what you had before. I didn't realize that it was changed. The other, it still doesn't change my $100,000 that I got to come up with to pay for this whole project, which, as I'm understanding here, you aren't necessarily done with that either. There may be more. Things the bids get open or whatever.
Jarek?
Mayor, yes, the numbers that we have are just an estimate, and they will be different. We feel that we have built-in contingencies for that could absorb any unexpected costs, but we feel like we have a pretty good estimate at this stage. We'll know more next month.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Board, my name is Bill Stork. I have the property at 3708 Memorial Highway. It's the Harley-Davidson dealership there. This thing started, like somebody said, 20 years ago. I didn't realize it was that long, but we were having meetings 3 to 5 years ago at the bowling alley, and we would get a talk with the engineers. And at that time, the assessed value was somewhere in the mid 30s for my property, and now it's 94,000. I don't know how we got from there to here. Obviously, costs go up. The cost of building, everything, the cost of everything's gone up. So I understand that. We do want to see improvement, but at the cost, the value is not there. For our property, there's no benefit to me. As a matter of fact, for 3 years, there'll be a major reduction of traffic to my business. There are 4 motorcycle dealerships or 4 shops, motorcycle shops on Memorial Highway. And unless they keep a surface that when it's wet is rideable by motorcycles, it's going to impact all 4 of these motorcycle shops heavily. When people want to come buy our product, they're going to come buy our product regardless of what the road condition is. But there's people that just come there to hang out and buy clothes and get service work done. And this is going to seriously, for those 3 years this project is going on, is going to impact our business in a great deal in a negative manner. The benefit that we gain from it is zero. Now, I understand that there are some places, some properties along this road that have some water issues, because I see my neighbor across the street, Keller Hearth and Home, it looks like he's got a lake in his parking lot half the time he gets even a decent-sized rain. A little selfish of me, but I don't have that problem. There was talks that they were going to make me share an entrance to my property with the guy that's next door to me, and he's got a dirt parking lot. Again, that doesn't make any sense. I just oppose the way that the assessment's gone on this. Everybody I've talked to, I know many people that have businesses along the strip, and I would say the average is $100,000 per property. And maybe I can absorb that a little bit better than some, but there's some places that I do believe it'll make them go out of business. It's just disappointing that it's at $35,000. I was thinking, well, we can deal with that, but here we are. We're up against $100,000 now per property. A lot of properties along that stretch. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Jarek, what were maybe Mr. Dubauer knows this, what were the costs before COVID for this project?
Mayor Freilich, I know that the costs at the time that we capped the project, the roadway portion was estimated to be $58 million. Because that's our cap was 10%. We were capped at 10% of the cost at that time, and now
so our costs have not gone up, but the cost of the project has escalated overall.
Yes, the costs of the project have escalated. Our roadway portion is capped, but the utility improvements, we are getting hit by all of those increases.
Right. Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Randy Roan. I'm a business owner, developer. Have some of the properties I own on Memorial Highway are Tier 1 and Tier 2. Probably 9 properties affected. I've been, like the rest of the gentlemen that have been speaking in regards to this, that it's been a long time coming. And if we're still talking about this 10, 20 years from now, I guarantee it's going to be even more money. I said this way back when. I said it's going to probably bankrupt a lot of little guys on the strip. It's going to definitely clean up the strip, but it comes at a cost. Way back when, the meetings at the bowling alley, I would have liked to know, anytime we can beautify something, I'd like to know what costs. And it's hard just saying, yeah, let's make it beautiful, not knowing the cost. So now, last week, Wednesday, I finally got a cost of what it's going to cost. So now I can start making educated decisions. And I just wish you guys would have gave me a little bit more time on the 3 days, 3 business days with Halloween, with families and everything going on. It was short notice. So I threw together a letter and communicated with Jarek. He answered a lot of my questions. Thank you so much. I did talk to Mitch in regards to some of the sanitary sewer. I figured with this big of a project, we should have got a little bit more notice as far as the actual cost before we move ahead, and then we got this 3 business days of response because of mail delays and all that. Of the $120 million, excuse me, I'm fighting a cold. Of the $120 million total, the city shares basically $18 million of that, with 60% of the $18 million being strictly to the Tier 1 and Tier 2 properties, which I'm all about being fair. And if of the $12.4 million assessments, which is the bulk of the everybody's, it's not a citywide assessment, I believe. On that, we would have, like new sanitary sewer, water lines, and electrical all coming through there. But if there's any upstream users on them lines, it'd only be fair for, of course, everybody to pay their fair share. But as Mitch pointed out, that the sanitary sewer that dumps from, mid-north Mandan doesn't go through the strip there. So thanks for giving me that information. And then excuse me, I always said that, and I'll recap this letter without reading it all, but where we're positioned with the Missouri River, Mandan, and the bridges we got going across to connect to Bismarck are a major thoroughfare for southwestern North Dakota to get to Bismarck, let's say, and the only other access point to cross that river going south is in Mobridge, South Dakota. So, of course, there's a larger impact to this highway than a normal highway. It's not just from city users because it's pulling from a huge region. So of that, I know that Jarek said that the state's more than happy to put in more, and the feds are doing their share, but it'd be nice to maybe look at that assessment where we could pull a little bit more money from them guys, knowing this is servicing more than just the residents of Mandan, because it is a major connection point unless somebody plans on building a bridge south of here. A few other things I'm going to just read through them. I had 2 properties. We had severe discrepancies on these properties from when I ran the math on them versus other properties and existing properties, and some that I got. It was like the assessment versus frontage. It was like, where are we getting these numbers from? It'd be nice so I could have the information so I could do my own calculations based on your guys' calculations to figure this out, all about being fair. Out of the 9 properties, I only had 2 that I had an issue with, and one didn't have hardly any frontage, but it went 500 feet deep and no value, so it should have been a hybrid Tier 1 / Tier 2 assessment based on. That's what I thought anyways. That would be fair because it doesn't have a lot of frontage. And the other one, I have we have a shopping center that's a 4-acre property, Memorial Square Shopping Center. Then I got the next property to it, Senex. The Senex lot, I call it, it's a 2-acre property, but my specials on the smaller property that's half the size are $10,000 more than the property right next door that's twice as big. So you can see where these discrepancies are. It's kind of confusing. So I don't know how the old calculators work, but I'd like to see, and be more transparent with how we came up with these calculations, so then everybody in these areas can go through the numbers and see, including with the neighbors and where everybody's paying. As far as Dwayne's instance there, it's offsetting that in to come in at a 90-degree corner. It makes sense for public safety. But on that aspect, it comes at a cost to him, and he's on one of them nasty corners with that median divider, and we have a property like that over by McDonald's. But anyways, I think, something like that, I'm guessing you guys did probably, you bought an easement from Kiss Livestock to make that big 90 into their property work, maybe offset it with, given that half an acre to Dwayne to offset is $100,000 maybe, because I don't know what the city would do with it anyways. Another thing is, the 20-year amortization, doing that on 20-year am, and we don't know the current interest rates on what these city projects are running and what you guys are going to fund them at, but I figured if we had some cost overruns with a 5% interest on these projects over the course of 20 years, some of this improvement on this particular property could run up to 3.5 times what our expected, what our quote is basically. And I don't know how many of your projects in the last 5 years have come in under budget, but, you know, hopefully they do, I guess. I mean, there's good things and bad things with this, and I think it'll come out more good than bad. You know, it's just the pains of going through this for right now, but I don't know if we could look at the amortization a little bit more and see just about being fair on everything and probably posting some things on the internet where we could go through the calculations on how this tier 1 and tier properties were, you know, calculated. But that's pretty much about, one property in particular, I'm like Scott, our current rents at $2,000 a month, but if I have the specials with the existing property tax, that continues to go up year over year over year. Basically 7/12 of my year, so 7 out of 12 months is going to pay just for the specials and the property taxes. And that doesn't leave much left in the end to carry all the other expenses. So on some of these properties, we're going to have to raise rents and all that. So or try to if we ain't under contract. But that's about it. Thank you too. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Randy. Anyone else?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Maria Higgins, and I own a small lot over there at Memorial Highway. My only question here is to find out how they base the spatials, because my lot there is it's considered 6 lots, but those lots are small. It's like one of them 0.06 acre, 0.11 acre, 0.11, and there's a total of 0.66 of an acre. So when I found out 3 days ago the spatials, it's not even worth the price of the land, how they based on it. And I found out that there are people who are having land also there. Their spatials was just a third of what they are putting on my. I cannot pay those. It's $316,000 plus. And I don't know how they based it, where they based it. And I'm not making money out of that. Taxes will be rising, and I'm only having like $2,000 a month for that. So I want to know where they based it, because my land is only 0.66, and there are some who have big lot over there, and I found out their spatials are just a third of what they are putting on mine. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Jarek, thank you.
Mayor, Commissioners, yes. So this would be kind of a result of the way we're currently calculating specials, which is splitting them into 3 size categories: small, medium, and large. And then she would have 6 small parcels, and it would be 6 per parcel assessments. They all kind of stack on top of each other at that point in time. It's how we're calculating it right now. The ultimate goal of the assessment calculation is to fairly represent benefit. So in unique situations like this, we may need to take a closer look and see how that's affecting these kind of unique cases, and see if there's a better calculation method that works for the entire district. This is a process that will, the assessments that we've or the estimates that we sent out are just estimates at this stage. The final verification process would happen after project completion, which would likely be the summer of 2028, where we would go through all of this again and make sure that it fairly represents benefit to each property.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Annette Beam Caldwell, another motorcycle group here. My husband Dusty and I have Open Road Honda. We're right across from Mr. Duane. I had a direct question. You keep referring to small, medium, and large. What's the basis of small, medium, and large? Is it parcel size? Is it building size? Is it rooftop? Is it frontage? I've asked that question since we first started this process, and I've never gotten an answer. And I need to agree with Dwayne. We're losing an access on the west side of our building. We're losing an entrance to our building. So at our own personal costs, last year, when this was verified by the engineering, we built another access to our property at the far north end of the property. Because we have a lot of farmers come in with stock trailers, and we need to have that ingress egress. And I'm going to agree with Bill Stork. This is a thoroughfare. You can come and sit in front of my building any day and you'll see cars going from one end to the other. Very few are stopping. If they come to our business or Bill's business, it's a purpose-driven visit. No one pulls by and goes, hey, I'm going to stop in and see what's going on at the Honda shop. We are going to have 3 years of challenges with our customers who don't want to drive into the traffic, who don't want to drive in the construction. And our joke is, get ready to deliver and pick up, because that's all we're going to do in the next 3 years to assist our customers. We are experiencing rising costs with property tax, which goes up year after year after year. Another thing I want to mention, guys, is we all just noticed Mandan sales tax is going up, and if the Morton County tax passes, we're going to be over 8% in the sales tax that we pay for the supplies that we buy to run our business, because we shop local. That's 8% sales tax, so there's an increase. Property tax, sales tax, and now this. I'm like Dwayne. I wish I had this much money. I wish we were this successful that we could just go, not a problem. I know this project has to happen. When we built our building in 2006, we brought in fill dirt because we had to have it as high as Memorial Highway. Now y'all are bringing Memorial Highway down. And the definition of based off of your benefit, whose version of benefit? So this, I applaud the engineering. This is a tough decision, but we've had these conversations over and over and over, and I feel like they're just wasted time. And Memorial Highway needs Mandan, and Mandan needs Memorial Highway.
Thank you, Annette. And you bring up a good point. They're interchangeable, and so I would hope we start to look at Memorial Highway more as an extension of Mandan Main Street and a vibrant commercial area, which it is already, but I think with the renovation of the roadway, it's going to be even more attractive, and maybe people aren't just driving by, they're actually stopping more than they already are. So, Jarek, do you have a rendering of the highway?
I can take a look. I hope that I have it here, and I do. So I do have it pulled up on the screen right now. Mayor, anything else I can do?
No, does it? Yes, sir. Can you go to the mic, or we could?
I'm seeing another problem here. Where is this extra property going to come from where the cars are parked on either side facing the highway? I mean, that means my property, Honda's property, Harley's property is going to have to, they're going to have to lose some property to make that little parking space you got there.
Oh, that's just a rendering. That's not a real guy on a bike either. That's just
Oh, you're
artist's
missing what I'm
rendition.
telling you. See where those cars are parked?
I see that.
Facing?
Yes,
the
that,
parking
but this is just a rendering.
So you're not going to do that?
No,
You're not going to have parking like that?
no.
Scared me.
I mean, you would have it, I suppose at some of the car dealerships it would look like that, but I don't.
See, we don't.
Jarek, could you comment on that?
Our clientele is not like that, to where they come and shop and walk up and down the street like a shopping center. That's not going to happen.
No, but
Mayor, I believe this rendering is showing private parking lots
yeah,
adjacent to the corridor. So this would be your bowling alley parking lot right here, and this would be
the car dealership.
car dealership. Yep. We do have intersection typical section here, which would have the channelized center turn lane. And that would, he asked what side of the highway would the bike path be on, and that would be on the southwest side.
Okay, thank you, Jarek.
Jarek, would there be some sidewalk on the northeast side on the eastern half of the project?
Mayor, Commissioner, there would be a sidewalk on the northeast side of the project from 46th to 40th, I believe. And then the remaining portion of the corridor would be graded so that sidewalk could be installed, but it's not being installed as a part of the project.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name's Casey Hybeck, speaking on behalf of Scooter Shack at 2014 Memorial Highway. I am with Annette, Bill, Dwayne. This highway is to commute for everybody, not just us. And we are a small mom and pop shop, and the ways the taxes and our specials keep getting raised, and our questions aren't getting answered. We're getting pushed out. And when you say that there's going to be access for Harley, Honda, Action Motorsports, Dakota Customs, Scooter Shack, what kind of access are we looking at for our customers that we still have access to test ride motorcycles in and out? For our customers to bring their bikes for a quick oil change, tire change, for them to wait. What are we looking at? Are we losing more business?
So during the course of the project, there would be temporary asphalt roadways constructed to maintain access. And does that asphalt extend into the approaches, or how does that? It'd be gravel for some approaches? Okay. So that is what is currently proposed in the plans.
So, as gravel, as we all know, we all ride, that in the dealerships. And some customers are more experienced, some aren't. Either way, when the strip was done the last time, the grade was made higher coming into the Scooter Shack's approach. Therefore, when we have custom motorcycles, you have to go at an angle so that they don't bottom out on their frames, which is hazardous. So when we're doing these approaches to our businesses, because we all have custom motorcycles coming in and out, are we going to make sure that that grade is sufficient? What is the benefit, again, for the specials for all of us small businesses? We're losing. We're getting pushed out more and more. It's a general highway for everybody. It's used throughout.
Well, we can only special assess the city, and the city is paying. The city is being assessed, but only in different regions, right? So the whole city is paying.
Correct, but I agree with Annette and with her small 6 properties and everybody else. There's not in Randy Rowan, it's not equal, it's not equally proportioned, it needs better proportioning throughout. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Casey.
I guess I have a question for the engineering company, please. I started as a police officer with Mandan PD in 1979, and I remember what the old 2-lane Memorial Highway was like, and it was a highway of death. And they did raise that quite a bit. Am I understanding correctly that Memorial Highway will be dropped down roughly 2 feet from where it is now? However, there will be some undulation in that to account for proper dispersal of stormwater?
Mayor Freilich, Commissioners, Commissioner Schoberg, that's correct. With going to an urban section, the roadway profile, for the most part, will be lower than existing. And to your point, exactly right, that I don't want to say a sawtooth, but you will see the profile kind of going up and down, some of those grade changes that you noted to make sure that that stormwater can be captured into the urban storm sewer system. So that's correct.
And to perhaps answer some of Casey's concerns, this communications fellow that's going to be on site, will he have some latitude to work with the individual businesses as far as the temporary approaches, reference angle of departure and approach?
Mayor and Commissioners, Commissioner Schoberg, the plan will have a public information coordinator as part of what the contractor will have to provide, and that's correct. Part of that intent is to provide communication between what the contractor is doing and the individual businesses. In addition to that, I would also be assisting with getting communication out with city staff as well as the rest of the residents and traveling public. So, correct, some of that coordination will be between the project and the business owners.
I might be micromanaging a little bit here, so forgive me, but will the businesses along the Memorial Highway be given that phone number for that contact for that coordinator?
Mayor, Commissioners, Commissioner Schoberg, that is something that we could pass along to the DOT through the project and the process, and even working with the team here at the city, that may be something we want to consider to early on to send the information out to all the business owners to keep folks informed.
Some of these details I understand are going to be on the fly type things, you know. I just wanted to give a little bit of consideration to some of the concerns that were voiced. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor, Commissioners, I own 2 properties down here, one tier 1 and one tier 2. Like Randy said, I think the letters could have come sooner with the special assessments. It's some very steep cost on a very short time frame for us to digest. It's, I don't know, I feel a little steep. Our tier 1 cost, which is an empty lot, is $100,000. So that cost is just directly onto us. And then we have tier 2, which is $35,000, and the business that we operate on, which seems more manageable. I feel that the costs are a little high for the assessments, and I think that it should be a little more spread out through the city, or somehow to get the cost down for us business owners on the strip.
I'm sorry, could you identify yourself and your business?
Cody Stern, Any Leaks Incorporated, and then Westover Properties is a holding company with the empty lot, the Tier 1.
Thank you, Cody.
Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jarek? I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but earlier in your presentation you indicated that you could possibly meet with some of the business owners either tonight or at a later date to work some of the details out.
Mayor Commissioner Schoberg, absolutely. You know, when we do these assessments, or these assessment estimates, we're painting with a broad brush stroke. We're evaluating 300 properties simultaneously, and the property owners know their properties better than we do. And, you know, we're not infallible, so we might make mistakes where a property we have categorized as a water main and service improvement might be a distribution enhancements improvement based on how they use the water system, the city's water system. So happy to go over what we have categorized and make any corrections that need to be made.
Okay, thank you.
Jarek, to build on that, so that was one of Annette's questions was, you know, square footage, roof, you know, frontage, you know, how roof, you know, roof footage, to, you know, Cody's comment about, you know, empty lots, you know, in comparison to there's places with operating businesses. So would you say that when you were, it was a broad stroke, but you assessed based on square footage, or how did you come to those?
Mayor Commissioner Hines, Sean, yes, it was a square footage of the lot calculation, and we split it into 3 classes: small, medium, large, using a classification method called natural breaks optimization. And what that does is it minimizes the variance within a class and maximizes the variance between classes. So we used what we feel is a good statistical method to make an objective breakpoint for small, medium, and large parcels in each of the tier groups. We did that individually, Tier 1, and also did it for Tier 2 properties. So those 2 tiers have no influence on the other.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jarek.
City Administrator Neubauer, I guess I got one question for you, if you don't mind. Folks, we're still new here. All three of us came on board July 1st, so we're still learning. But some of the stuff that we've learned so far is there are time constraints put on certain processes leading up to, say, a public meeting or a protest situation. Are those applied by this or recommended by the state or the federal government?
Mayor Freilich and Commissioner Schoberg, the special assessment timelines are set out by North Dakota Century Code on when the commission creates the district and advertises that district. In our Mandan News is when that 30-day time period for protest begins. And so we send out the courtesy letters as a courtesy to show folks in Tier 1 and Tier 2 in this case what their proposed assessments may be. And there's a 30-day window, again, based on North Dakota Century Code, on how long that period remains open.
Okay. Does that answer some questions? No, not really.
Casey Habeck again, Mayor, Commissioners. Who gets the Mandan News?
Mayor Freilich and Commissioners and Casey, by Century Code, that's who we have to advertise in. The letters, like I said, there's no requirement that we send those letters out informing folks of you're in a district and here's the proposed assessment. We do that because we think that's being transparent with the property owners on you're in a district, here's the amount that we are estimating you pay. But as far as the subscription rate for the Mandan News, I don't know. That is something that is voted on every 4 years, I believe, by residents as to if we want to declare the Mandan News the official newspaper of the city.
So you have to be subscribed to get the Mandan News, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Our water bill. We get our Mandan update with our monthly water bill. I read it every month. Why couldn't it be a little blurb in there for us? Because like me and the rest of the business owners have 4 or 5 days to. So where we're all coming from is we didn't have enough time. There's business owners and property owners that don't live in North Dakota. Were those responses, their protest emails, were those accepted as part of this protest?
Mayor and Commissioners and Casey, if we received the protest by 4:30 yesterday, I think we certainly counted it. Again, yes, I'm not going to say there's a lot of subscribers to the Mandan News. I don't know what their subscription rate is. We did have a extensive article in the Mandan Messenger in the October edition, which went out roughly a month ago, I think. So there was, like I said, we did indicate how this project entails and the funding sources that were gathered for this. So we did advertise that in the Mandan Messenger and in the e-Messenger.
But I don't remember reading in the Messenger as far as anything about the assessments or a 30-day window for protests or anything like that.
Okay,
I'm just, we were given short notice. There was a lot of knowledge we didn't know, that there was tier 1 A, B, tier 2 A, B, all these different breakdowns. And yeah, I mean, like me representing my parents right now. These assessments are a quarter of what we're worth, per se. And so as far as the beautification, it's a highway. We're not looking for beauty.
I think Mayor Freilich and Casey, I think we have done quite a bit in the world of minimizing any of the frills and landscaping and things like that that you will see in the plans on the corridor. We have minimized that to a great degree that has been suggested. There's things that we are required to do to meet DOT requirements and federal highway requirements. Some of those are the medians that you'll see. Some of those are the walking trail that you see. Those are, we aren't able to negotiate some of those items. They're part of, you want the federal money, you want the state money, this is what you have to do it. But again, I think that we have met the state requirements as far as giving a 30-day window, and we have done the courtesy letters that go out like a lot of cities in North Dakota do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologize. I got one more thing. I guess the biggest thing with the 20-year amortization, if we could spread it out, is there a possibility to spread it on a longer note, like a 30-year? How about subsidizing the interest on that with eliminate the sales tax refund, the cap of $25, going up on that, which only would affect transactions over $1,750 or more, to help subsidize some of that interest, because what is current interest on this type of project?
Mayor Freilich and Randy, we think, we can't guarantee this, we can tell you that we have just recently gone out to market on our last special assessment projects, and our interest rate, I think, was 3.8, about 4%. We believe after some changes in some refunding loan programs in North Dakota, like I said, I can't promise this, but I think what we will be doing is applying for 2% money, so which is a significant savings in that world. So that's what we're working on right now. I can't guarantee what what interest rates are going to be in 2028 when we may special assess and bond this project. But right now we're looking at, we're hoping and we think we're pretty successful in obtaining 2% money to do this project.
Thank you. Is there a way that we could take it on a lot longer amortization or not with that kind of interest?
I think we have, or Mayor Freilich and Randy, we typically on the concrete roadways will amortize those over a 20-year period rather than asphalt we'll do over 15, shorter lifespan, 20 years. We try and do it over the lifespan of, like you're depreciating your buildings.
Absolutely.
We're trying to go over that 20-year lifespan because there may be needed repairs come year 21 or 25 that we don't like to really double up and come back and say, we're here 25 years later, you're still paying on the original assessment, and here comes another one. So we try our best not to do that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Randy. Anyone else?
Administrator Neubauer, Randy touched on the $25 tax, but that's a mandated, there's a level for that, correct?
Mayor Freilich, Commissioner Heinchan, that cap will be moving as of January 1st because of the half-cent sales tax that will be going on was an initiated measure brought forth by citizens. The commission did not vote to bring that to a vote of the people. That was an initiated measure, but that will be in effect after the first of the year. And that sales tax cap will move up from, I think, $25 to whatever that next amount will be. Might be $56 or might be $36. I'm not sure exactly what it will be. But that will move as of January 1.
Any other citizens? Third and final call for comments. Hearing none, the public meeting is now closed. Commissioners, if you move to K4, I would look for a motion.
May I make a comment first or not?
You may.
First of all, thank you very much. This is what our country's based on, is exactly why you're here. And as new guys, I know that the three of us really appreciate taking your time. There have been some very valid points that were raised, and I know that Jarek is very committed to his job and to our citizenry. So I know he and I don't take that your presence here lightly. Okay. Because again, on election day, this is what our country's all about. And I thank you for showing up tonight and voicing your opinions, because that's what this is, forum is for. That being said, in my short time here, I've also been able to observe things that happen under this roof. And I can't make any promises because I don't know how things work in their entirety now. And I probably won't know all of that until after years passed. What I have seen after my 50 years in public safety is the staff under this roof since July 1st has been ready, willing, and able to work to the best of their degree within the confines placed on us by federal and state regulations to assist our citizenry in making this community a better place to live. So with that being said, I'll take the heat. I've been a man without a country before, and I'm ready to be a man without a country again. So I'll make the motion. I move to approve the resolution determining the insufficiency of protest for Street Improvement District 239.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Braun. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. And again, I would like to echo Commissioner Schoberg's comments. Thank you all very much for participating tonight. Your comments are not taken lightly. And with that, we will move. I lost my place here.
H. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. Bids.
We'll go on to
Old Red Trail shared use.
Mayor Freilich, I think we're on the bids
Yep,
portion.
let's go to G. We'll give everybody a chance to. Okay. Jarek, bids. Consider Old Red Trail, shared use, path, mill, and overlay bids.
Mayor Commissioners, on October 11th, the North Dakota Department of Transportation opened construction bids for the Park District's Old Red Trail Shared Use Path Mill and Overlay project. This is a mill and overlay on a 10-foot wide path on the southwest side of Old Red Trail from 30th Avenue northwest to Sunset Drive. This is part of the North Dakota Department of Transportation's Transportation Alternative Program, and it has 80% federal funds allocated to it for the construction of the project. The low bid was submitted by Strata Corporation in the amount of $425,000 change. The local share of this is estimated to be about $81,000. And this is we kind of act as a pass-through for the Park District to access these federal funds. So the city would be assessing 100% of that cost back to the Park District. And I have confirmed that with Park District Executive Director. It would be our recommendation to award the bid to Strata Corporation as presented.
Any questions, Jarek?
Jarek, we talked about this earlier. This project's bid championed by the North Dakota Department of Transportation, correct? And
that is correct, Commissioner.
The reason I ask that is Thursday night we have a public hearing on that entire Sunset Avenue interchange with I-94. So whatever might get adjusted during that construction phase will most likely be handled by the North Dakota Highway Department as far as repairing.
Mayor Commissioner, yes, where those two projects overlap, the Department of Transportation should be aware of where they might overlap, and they would be making a decision whether or not to accommodate one project during the other, I think. Yeah.
And the timing's still up in the air with that entire project anyway, right?
Mayor Commissioner, absolutely.
So it would behoove us to pursue the mill and overlay at this point to prevent any potential injuries to people that are using that pathway.
That would be our recommendation, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none.
I move to award the bid to Strata Corporation as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Braun, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Agenda item H, consent agenda. We are not going to read the consent agenda going forward. Commissioners, you have the opportunity to pull any items from the consent agenda. But what I'm looking for here is just a motion to pass the consent agenda as presented.
I make a motion to the accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item J, new business. Consider engineering service agreement to complete the design of 8th Avenue Northwest and 27th Street. Jarek?
Mayor Commissioners, yes, I'm going to pull up a map here so I can reference it. This summer, we completed a project that included the reconstruction of 8th Avenue Northwest between Old Red Trail and 24th Street. The project that was completed this summer was originally part of a larger project that would have also included the reconstruction of 8th Avenue Northwest between 24th Street and 27th Street, as well as 27th Street between 8th Avenue Northwest and 1806. So it is an L-shaped portion that was left out of the original project scope. Highlighted here in your packet, if that makes it easier to visualize. The design for the portion that was left out of the construction project this summer is very far along, 80% complete, might be a good estimate. We have put this project onto the State Transportation Improvement Plan for 2028, and we currently have $4 million authorized for the improvement of the remaining segments. With that said, we would like to advance construct if the opportunity presented itself, or federal funds needed to be reallocated to a project. So we are recommending to amend Moore's design or Moore's contract to finish the design and submit it to the North Dakota Department of Transportation so that we would be positioned to receive federal funds if they became available. The amendment or the engineering service agreement totals about $243,000 and would include design. Yeah, I think there's a schedule of values outlined in the attachment, and it would include your typical design work as well as some additional time for project coordination over that extended time period. It'd be our recommendation to approve it, but I'll stand for any questions.
Jarek, at this time, this is simply a request to consider the design-only phase. We're not talking about any build at this point.
Mayor Commissioner Schoberg, that's correct. This would be for design only. This would be to get the design finalized and submitted to the North Dakota Department of Transportation.
Thank you.
Any further questions? What are your wishes?
I will move to approve Task Order 8 with more engineering as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Heinchan. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item number 2, consider cost participation and maintenance agreement for Memorial Highway Project. Jarek?
Mayor Commissioners, this is somewhat related to the funding package that we kind of just went over. It's a cost participation and maintenance agreement that accompanies the bidding of a project. As a condition of the Memorial Highway project would be that the city would be taking over routine maintenance of the corridor. This agreement outlines some of that more specifically. The city has been anticipating this and has been completing equipment purchases that might be required for that extra work, and has been planning for additional staff to account for that extra work. We would also be taking maintenance responsibilities of the shared use path on the southwest side of the corridor, and we have come to an agreement with Mandan Parks to split that maintenance based on, I think seasonally, based on season, where the city might be taking care of plowing operations and the parks might be taking care of mowing operations, something like that. This has been reviewed by Public Works, the city attorney, and by HDR, who assisted us with the financial side of the agreement. It's our recommendation to approve the agreement as presented. I would also note that we have 3 suggested motions in the packet. The remaining 2 would be to obligate $3 million of ARPA funds to the Memorial Highway project and to obligate the remaining $600,000 of ARPA funds for water and sewer utility fund capital improvement projects. This obligation needs to be completed by the end of this year, so now would be a good time to do it. I'll stand for any questions if you have any.
Did anyone have a question?
So with our planning for the future, the appropriate department heads are already planning for future time allocations for snow removal and all that type of thing.
Mayor, Commissioner, yes, they are fully aware, fully committed, and ready.
This doesn't occur until the road is done.
That is correct. So this would be a 2028 type
29?
commitment. Yeah, that is correct.
But we're currently budgeting for the equipment that's going to be needed.
Mayor, Commissioners, yes, that's correct. And I would say that it's wise to do that with lead times that can be many years long. So we're trying to position ourselves to be ready to take it over when we need to take it over.
Okay, thank you, Jarek.
Fire Chief Bitts. We were part and parcel to some of this preliminary planning, if I remember right. Could you give the folks in the audience here and watching on TV an idea basically since 9/11, the changes in the wait time for fire trucks, specifically as far as build times, which is why we need to start planning now to enhance our equipment inventory and manpower.
Mayor Freilich, Commissioners, thank you for that, Commissioner Schoberg. Yes, just as a quick reference, I think the last fire engine we ordered was in 2017, and the build time on that was approximately 8 months. And I think in 2022 or 2023, we placed another order for an engine, and the build time is expected to be 48 to 50 months right now. So that gives you a little understanding of those lead times on fire apparatus. And our heavy equipment isn't quite to that extreme, but it's all of 12 months, I guess, at this point, as a round number. So yes, there's definitely lead times beyond what we would expect. So the more we can prepare, the better we are. And we've done a couple of purchases in the last couple of years to prepare for Memorial Highway as well.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, what are your wishes?
How do you want to handle this, one at a time or all 3 at once?
Would it be inappropriate to handle all 3 of them at once, or should we?
I think if you have them separated out, you should do them one at a time.
Okay. Thank you. Alrighty, let's roll. Number 1, I move to enter into the cost participation and maintenance agreement as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Heinchan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes.
I move to obligate $3 million of the ARPA funds for water and sanitary sewer improvements for the Memorial Highway project.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun,
Yes.
Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes.
I move to obligate the remaining $600,000 for water and sewer utility fund infrastructure improvements included in the city's capital improvement program.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoberg,
Yes.
Heinchan,
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Thank you, Jarek. Item number 3, Helbling Land LLP application for property tax exemption for improvements to commercial and residential buildings, North Dakota Century Code 57-02.2.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Tonight I have before you an application from Helbling Land LLP. They're applying through the 3-year property tax exemption for an addition and remodeling to the structure at 408 Fifth Avenue Southeast. The exemption will be applied to the value added due to that addition and the remodeling. And I've brought the picture of the building here up on the screen for you. The building was built in around 1975. The plan is to add a 75 by 30 addition to the west side of the current RV servicing building, and that addition would be a wash bay. The addition would allow for better utilization of the building and allow employees to wash and service the RVs safely. The existing building will have a new roof, metal siding, windows, and larger overhead doors. As we know, these RVs have gotten much larger. The phase 2 of the plan would be to do some interior remodel to the bathrooms and the office area, and that would start in 2025. So if you would have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer those. If not, I would ask for your approval.
I will move to approve the application for a property tax exemption for improvements to commercial and residential buildings, North Dakota Century Code 57-02.2, located at 408 Fifth Avenue Southeast.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Brown. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun,
Yes.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Go on to agenda item K. Number 1, consider resolution of governing body for state revolving fund loan applications. Jarek?
Mayor Commissioners, what we have here is a resolutioning of governing body that is a requirement for SRF loans, and these would be SRF loans related to the Memorial Highway project. Administrator Neubauer referred to this program earlier. This is the low interest rate, the 2% money that we are anticipating at the very least the water and sewer portions to be eligible for, and potentially, after recent conversations with SRF staff, potentially the roadway as well. So that what this resolution would do would authorize city staff to apply for these loans, as well as authorize city staff to furnish information that the city may have required for the loan applications. We'd recommend approval as presented. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Greg might be more suited to answer some questions too.
I retired from a business, Johnson's Wrecking, and we dealt with daily commodities, or things change sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. and definitely overnight numerous times. Greg, would that be similar with the loan interest rates? Would they change? So we would want our folks to be able to jump on this opportunity at first light, so to speak?
Mayor Freilich, Commissioner Schoberg, the 2% has been, through the state revolving fund, has been in effect for several years now. I don't anticipate that to change by the time that the city actually finances the project. So if the street and water and sewer can be approved for the SRF loan, which we anticipate, we are planning on a 2% interest rate. If there is a portion of the project that is not eligible for SRF loan financing at 2%, then we would be looking at the bond market, which those rates would fluctuate. And we would have no idea how to project those interest rates 2 or 3 years in advance.
So if we would just say, as a novice to your world, go with this 2% application or sign up for it or whatever you guys do, is there a sunset on that?
I'm not aware of a sunset, but the application would be submitted immediately after the approval of this resolution.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any further questions? Entertain a motion.
I
Move to approve the presented resolution related to SRF loan applications.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Braun, a second by Commissioner Heinchan. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item number 2, second consideration of ordinance 1455 for Mandan Industrial Park, 14th edition. Andrew.
Mayor Freilich and Commissioners, excuse me, ordinance for 1455 was presented at the previous City Commission meeting for a first consideration. It would rezone the Mandan Industrial Park 14th property, Pepsi, to be in the MA district in its entirety after the lot combination takes place. Made no changes, received no comments, and the recommendation is to approve the second consideration. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for Andrew? Could I get a motion, please?
I'll move to approve the second and final consideration of ordinance 1455 for the Mandan Industrial Park, 14th edition.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Schoberg, a second by Commissioner Braun. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioners Braun.
Yes.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item number 3, second consideration of ordinance 1456 related to the exclusion and de-annexation of 1.5 acres of land related to the Byware subdivision.
Mayor Freilich and Commissioners, as you stated, this item was introduced at our previous City Commission meeting for its first consideration. It would break off a portion of a city-owned property related to the Byware subdivision plat that is going through right now. And we've made no changes, received no comments from its first introduction, and our recommendation is to approve the second consideration of ordinance 1456. Are there any questions related to this item?
Any questions for Andrew? If none, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the second and final consideration of ordinance number 1456 for Buer.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Heinchan, a second by Commissioner Braun. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Schoberg.
Yes.
Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Item number 5. We've already dealt with 4. Correct?
Yes, Mayor Freilich.
Item number 5, first consideration of Keitel Estates Annexation Ordinance 1457.
Yes, just for housekeeping purposes, we need a motion related to the first consideration of the annexation ordinance. We did get one for the minor plat. This is related to the Kendall's addition in the Keitel area where we're annexing the property. I gave you a good overview in public hearings. Do you have any questions for me? Otherwise, I'm just looking for a motion to approve the first consideration of ordinance 1457.
I move to approve the first consideration of ordinance 1457.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Brown, a second by Commissioner Schoberg. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Commissioners Heinchan.
Yes.
Braun.
Yes.
Schoberg.
Yes.
Mayor Freilich.
Yes. Any other business? Seeing none, the future dates for the commission meeting, November 19th, 2024 at 5:30, December 3rd, 2024 at 5:30, and December 17th, 2024 at 5:30. With that, a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. We are adjourned.